Hey guys, welcome back to Life on Greenwood. How are you today? If you want to know how this introvert copes with social distancing, then I'll show you what I'm doing while I'm stuck at home. I'm stuck at home, just like you probably are, but it's a little different, I think, for an introvert. When you talk about social distancing, introverts have been practicing social distancing forever. That's what we do. We prefer social distancing, not forced social distancing. That's the difference. We don't prefer to be forced to put distance between ourselves and you. But as an introvert, we're so accustomed to being at home or being within ourselves. Maybe you don't know this about me, those of you who subscribe or follow me on social media, but I am an introvert, and maybe not a deep introvert, because I think there's different levels, but I am an introvert, and I'm just, when they talked about social distancing, I said, hey, that's nothing new for me. I've been doing social distancing. That's my preference. It's not that I don't like people or like to be out. I think I just prefer quieter, simpler social settings. I'm fine being at home. I like to be at home. This has been messing me up just a little bit because hubby's here now. So that's the only thing that's getting to me. The fact that there's somebody here now and he's kind of underfoot, and I find myself like, this is funny. I was just telling him just a few minutes ago about messing up another cup. He's going through coffee cups. Like, it seems like every time he comes down for a cup of coffee, he grabs a different mug. So that's one of the things that's been getting me. Or he's getting a different saucer for everything. And I'm washing dishes, seems like constantly, or I'm constantly picking up. And he'll go upstairs to his office and work, and he'll come downstairs and start doing something, and take another dish. But as far as being home, I don't mind being home, because as an introvert, we don't, this introvert doesn't, we don't, or we just prefer our own company. We prefer our own company, and we're quite fine being in these quiet settings at home. We don't mind, and we prefer these kinds of settings. The thing is, we don't want to be forced to be at home. That's the thing. You don't want to be forced to be at home. As an introvert, and I do go out. Of course, I go thrifting, but I'm by myself most of the time when I go thrifting. I can't remember the last time I took somebody to a thrift store, but it's not that we don't want to be around people. I think your preference is, if you didn't have to, then you wouldn't. I don't know how to describe that. It takes a lot out of you, especially when you're working. If you have to work around a lot of people, or if you're in management, what have you, there are things that you have to do. And it's not that we can't do these things. I think we're quite good at those things. I was in management for forever, but even when I wasn't in management, the types of jobs that I had required a lot of face-to-face and talking to people and this and that, and you do those things. It's just that sometimes these social settings, they drain you. They physically drain you. I was explaining to a friend who came over. I had a husband and wife come over to celebrate hubby's 66th birthday, and they were surprised that I actually called them to come to the house. And hubby was totally surprised that they came, because I didn't tell him I was doing it, because I was thinking at the last minute I was going to say no. But I called them up, and I texted the wife rather and told her it was hubby's birthday. Would they like to come over and have cake with us, cake and coffee? And she was so surprised. And her husband was so even more surprised because he knows, how I don't like a lot of social settings. So, and hubby was totally surprised when they showed up. But I managed to get through the evening. It was just two of them. I managed to get through the evening. They stayed for a couple hours, had cake and coffee, and chatted. And by the way, this guy plays the saxophone, so he came in playing the saxophone, playing Happy Birthday to hubby. And the evening went off without a hitch, and then they went home. And then of course I'm like, oh, it physically drains you. But the social distancing for an introvert, this is like every day for us. We're like, yay, hey, welcome to our world. We're used to this. We're so used to social distancing, or trying to put social distance between ourselves and other people. So it's not, again, it's not that we don't like people or anything. I think we just find peace and enjoyment within ourselves, internally, that we don't need a lot of outside stimulus. So I think that's about all it is. I can't describe it any other way. But if you're an introvert and you're experiencing this, then tell me, comment below and tell me how you're handling the social distancing that's brought on by this coronavirus. Again, it's nothing new for me. The only thing that's different for me is now that I feel like I'm being forced to stay in. I did a video the other day about not being able to go thrifting. I'm not going thrifting, and I'm not out and about because of my age. I fall within that age bracket of people who are at risk because I'm 63. So I'm trying not to put myself in situations where there are a lot of people. So I've been staying in for that. But again, I miss thrifting. Oh God, I miss thrifting. Yes, yes, I miss that. But as far as social situations, I didn't have a lot of social situations anyway. I don't usually do those kinds of things. I'm not. That doesn't get to me at all. But while I'm home, what do? And if you're home and you're an introvert, you're probably already doing these things anyway: reading, meditating, doing some things around the house, like some unfinished to-do lists, like decluttering your closets, your pantry. Some unfinished projects. I don't know, maybe if you're, depending on where you are, maybe you can do something on your gutters. Maybe they need to be cleaned out or something. Clean out the dishwasher. Throw something in there that makes it smell fresh. Do the same thing to your washer and you're in the laundry room. But there are projects that can be done around the house. One of the things that you can do that I did once before, again, because I'm an introvert and I'm home, is take an online course, free online course. YouTube, there are people on YouTube offering all kinds of free courses and tutorials on this and that. So, that's something you can do while you're home. Learn something, learn a new skill. Hey, if you're like me and I'm into finance, or that was my career. I've been retired for about a year and a half now. Maybe you want to bone up on your skills, your accounting skills, or your maybe some Excel courses. There's free tutorials online that you can do. So those are some of the things that I do when I'm home, is take some online courses, some tutorials and stuff. One thing that I'm doing is I'm painting everything. If you follow my channel, you know that I, since my thrifting, I'll take things and I upcycle things. I almost paint everything. I paint everything. So I have a few projects around the house that are unfinished that I need to finish painting. and making them over. So I'll be doing those videos too. But as far as being home and being an introvert, oh, by the way, oh yeah, check out my shirt. This is a shirt hubby bought me some years ago. I hope you can see it. It says, "Introverts unite separately in your own homes." He saw this online, so he bought this for me, and I thought I'd wear it today just for this video. But again, it's social distancing is, hey, that's what we do as introverts. But I just wanted to share that with you. I don't know how many of you actually knew that about me. I don't know that it comes across in someone's face that they're an introvert or an extrovert or anything like that. I think sometimes you see it in our behavior and what have you, but I don't think that you can really see it all the time, because sometimes as introverts we have to adapt to the situation. Like, we may be out in a social situation, so you have to force yourself to adapt to that situation. So you do that. So folks may not know that you're an introvert because you're out there, you're doing your thing, you're doing presentations, you're doing whatever you need to do. But when it's over, you come back to the house and you're drained. You're absolutely, physically drained. It's happened to me so many times. You're just up for these social or business situations, and then when you get home, you just and you're physically drained from all the just being up. But I really I like my time, and if I think back, I think I've always been this way. Always been this way. And again, I think I'm up for social situations. I get up for those social situations. But if somebody tells me if we're supposed to be somewhere and it's canceled, I'm not super upset, because it's like, it took a lot for me to have to get up to go to that, to get ready for that thing anyway. So by it being canceled, it's like, that's almost like a relief. Because you have to get yourself psychologically ready to go to these, to be out, to be social. You have to psychologically get yourself ready to do that. So I don't know. So the social distancing for us as introverts, that's not a bad thing. It's just that when you're being forced to do it, like, we like to go out, we like to be outside. Yes, I'd like to take a walk. I'd like to go take a walk around the block and just be out. I'd love to go thrifting. I'd like to be out seeing things. However, when you're being forced to stay in, that's different than wanting to stay in and have a cup of tea, watch some TV, have a nice bath and all that. That's different. Being forced to stay in and do that, that's different than wanting or preferring to stay in and just listen to some music and be with yourself. That's different. Being forced is a little different. So I'm coping. I'm doing well. I do want to go out. I do want to go thrifting. That's a thing that's getting me, because I like to go thrifting at least once a week, and I haven't been able to do that. So that's what's getting me. And the fact that hubby's here, oh my God, and messing up dishes, like constantly going through dishes. So that's something. So I hope this helps you, at least gives you a little insight into how this introvert is handling the social distancing that coronavirus has brought to our doorstep. And if you can relate to it, by all means, comment down below. And if you're new here, I'm usually doing videos about thrifting and doing stuff around my house and doing thrift makeovers and upcycling home decor and what have you. I love to paint. If you're new here and you like that kind of content, by all means, hit the subscribe button. And for my returning friends, thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.